A lot of times we come to church and we feel the Spirit moving and we jump. We want to be a part of that. We want to feel good. We want to have an ideal that we belong to Christ. We want to have an ideal that we belong to the church. We want to have some kind of commitment that lets us feel that we're okay, that we're not just cast out in the world and forgotten by God. So we come and we grab a little piece of Christianity. We come and make some kind of commitment without ever really knowing what we're doing. This man, he didn't wait for Christ to call him. He just jumped up and said, "Hey, what about me?" Even though Christ hadn't prepared him. A lot of us want to jump not from being a babe, but we want to jump right up to being a deacon. We don't want to wait and learn and grow and find out what Christianity is really about. We just want to jump in there, and that's why so many people get burned out. Because before they ever even jump in and say, "I'll do whatever," they have no idea what it costs to really follow God. Jesus tells us time and time again, even in the story of the builder, to count what it costs to follow Christ. In other words, know what you're saving. Know what you're getting into. Jesus said, listen, right now you have a home, you have a bed, you have a place to lay your head, you have a place to store your food and to have shelter and clothing. But listen, the Son of Man has no home. You would have to give up the comforts of your living, your material things, all of these things that are holding you right now and making you feel good and making you feel like you have something. You're going to have to give those up to really follow me. And then you go, "Oh, really?" Most people, when they find out that the Lord is calling them past their comfort zone, give up entirely. When the Lord calls them to begin to give up some of their material things that have gotten in the way of their relationship, people give up entirely. But a wholehearted disciple is what He's calling for. A wholehearted disciple is what He's looking for. I want to tell you today that Christ is not looking for someone that will follow Him part of the time. Christ is not looking for someone who will jump before looking. Christ is not looking for someone who's going to burn out when He asks them to give up something. But what He tells us is it's really worth it. We read the Bible, we read the words of Christ, and we feel the Spirit dealing with us. And there's not a material thing in this world, God says, that we shouldn't give up for the glory of God. There isn't one thing that should bind us or keep us to this world that we shouldn't be able to walk away from. But are we willing? Are we willing to be a wholehearted disciple? The next man goes on and he says, he said one to another, "Follow me." So this guy had already been preparing. He already had been nurturing him and having him grow. And he got to the place where this guy was ready to be called by Christ. He was ready to be called into the ministry. He was there. He had what would enable him to do it. So Christ calls him, "Follow me." And right when he says that, he said, "Lord, wait, let me first dead yet. He may be sick. He may be close to death. But he's going to wait. And he says, listen, let me wait until he dies. And most of us would think that's reasonable. Most of us would think, this is nothing. Nothing's more important than the last days of my family's life or a family member's life. But what Christ tells us here is that nothing is more important than the Word of Jesus Christ. Now listen, we can't get that through our thick heads. We can't. It is so hard to grasp that the Word of God, that the commandment to go and to preach the gospel to all nations, that commandment right there, that responsibility is more important than anything else. Even a loved one. What he tells us is, listen, the spiritually dead, the lost, can bury the physically dead. But the spiritually dead cannot preach the gospel. In other words, if we don't do it, more important than someone physically dying is spiritually dying. And that's what he says. That the leaving of this world is really no big deal. We can't get that in our mind. We don't want nobody to leave. I don't. I'm going to preach a funeral today of a 6-month-old. Now, how do you do that? What in the world do you say to their mom? Huh? I'll tell you, I don't want to go over there. Even though I really know inside that baby's a wonderful place. Amen. I do. But do you think I want to go and talk to her mom and act like I got the answers? Do you think that, boy, you ain't treading on some thin ground when you go to tell a mama to let it go and let it be, it's going to be all right? Boy, she could snap at you at any second with the loss of a 6-month-old baby. And that's what it is. We battle back and forth. Do we want to leave this place? Is this what I'm supposed to be? But really, Christ says that the spiritual death is much, much, much more worse than some kind of physical death. That the spiritual torment that we're going to go through in that place called hell is so much worse than some kind of physical pain that we can be in this world. So he grabs our attention and says, listen! There's someone lost out there. And no one's going to carry the gospel if we won't. Besides the cause that Christ explains to us in the beginning that we got to consider, we also have to consider our priorities. And I'm going to tell you, it is not going to be easy, ever, to say that we can walk away from loved ones